Hey guys, it's Kosov here. Today this video is going to be another tour, and it's going to be of the tutorial island. So, just some information about the tutorial island first. I built it about 2 months ago, maybe more, and then I was starting to record it. I maybe recorded it like 4 times, because something always kept interrupting me. So, this is the 5th recording of Tutorial Island, and then Colton said, "Oh, I think we better sort of, live stream it and stuff, get into live streaming." And ever since that, we've sort of haven't live streamed it, and since we're working on beta quite a lot now, I think live streaming it would take way too much time for something I could just make a video on. So, the Tutorial Island, it's a beta for all skills on Tutorial Island, and it's going to be used in the main project, and it's basically just going to tell you how sort of the game works. So, ignore the lighting in here, I just need to fix it. I thought it would make the area look brighter, but it looks horrible. So, this also includes music, a bit of music I believe, custom music. Custom loading screens, and there was voice acting on the NPCs, but I'm not quite sure if I removed it. I know this guide has voice acting, a voiceover, I mean, and I'm gonna see, it's gonna be me voice acting it, so I'm just gonna stay quiet until I talk to him.
Hello there, I am the guide. Who are you?
Yeah, the guy talking does have voiceover, and it is me, so don't make up like I'm sort of talking over it or narrating it while I'm doing now. So I'm just going to let me do the talking again.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to the Tutorial Island, built by those fabulous people in another dimension. I'm going to go through how you should play this game and what the game has to offer.
Yeah, I sound so horrible. Also, if you notice my character right now, you'll notice that his lips start to move, and he'll sort of do some animation, I believe. So, talking animation. So it looks like
You're starting it right now. Here you are having a conversation with me. I'm going to let you carry.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip my voice. See,
Good luck on the island.
We've started to add some more like animations to conversations. Voiceover, we'd love to have on every single person, but finding that amount of people, it's going to be such a long amount of work to do. So yeah, things you haven't seen before is the animations while talking, your lips moving, and the voiceover. So we're going to move on to the next area. And you can see it's the custom loading screen of the area. We plan to do this for every single area. It's just going to be a picture. So if I enter Gielinor, it's going to be a picture of Gielinor. And I'm going to let you listen to the music. Okay, so I think that's sort of enough of the music. So we will have custom music for every single area. That was the newbie melody, I believe. I'm not quite sure. So here we are. First, we get given a quest, and it's called Learning Ropes. After speaking to the guide, he asks you to move on to the next NPC, so you can progress your way off your art there. So you can progress your way off the island. Meet the expert outside, down by the pond. So that's where we are. Obviously, he'll give you instructions on how to like open up your journal and blah blah blah. So this is the expert. Obviously, I'm sure you all know what we do here. She doesn't have voice acting, but she has some sort of like animations and talking. And so do I believe. Yep. Right, this is information you probably should listen up to. So every skill you do, you're tested against the level you are in. For example, you are cutting some oak logs. Your wood cutting skill will be tested against the oak tree. This means the higher wood cutting you are, the more chance you will have to obtain a log. What happens if I fail? Nothing. You won't obtain any item or XP though. And in other skills such as fishing, you'll use up your bait if you fail. Apart from items, how else do skills help? Every skill you do, you'll earn XP. If you aren't so good in combat, you can cut some logs or fish to gain XP to level up, and then use those skill points in combat skills. Thanks for the information. What can I do here? She'll demonstrate two skills, which is woodcutting and fishing. She just wants me to cut some normal logs and some raw shrimp. Wait for it to load. There we go. So we have our bronze hatchet and our small fishing net. Full with the icons. Oh yeah, and that's your bronze hatchet. So, on trees, I'm not quite sure what that are. Oh, they're logs. On trees, you'll see that trees have some roots. I believe this is on our woodcutting video. So I'm just gonna go. Yeah, just if you haven't seen that video, I may as well explain it now. Every tree, I would say every tree, it sort of goes up in tiers. The normal trees, there will be some roots. Oak trees, basically oak trees, and I'm not quite sure every single oak tree. Normal trees and oak trees, they'll have some roots. So, if I turn around me now, I could say that there's no. Let me get my camera angle in position. I could say there's no roots by that one tree. There's no roots by the oak tree. Because it's sort of an odd place to cut, if you know what I mean. We don't use because I believe you can actually trip over, or not sort of like really trip over, but like get stuck on them. But I think I changed the settings on them. So everything, willows, yew trees, I believe that's the only free-to-play trees left, will only have roots on every single tree of them. So we don't want you trying to find yew tree and you finally found one but there isn't no roots to it. We're going to add roots to every single willow and yew tree, and yeah, that's it. So I'm going to start cutting the tree. You attempt to cut some logs and it tells me they're level 1 required. You successfully cut some logs. You successfully cut for some logs. I can't even talk. You successfully cut the root for some logs. So may as well, because it shows some woodcutting animation, but since I didn't have my axe equipped, so I'm going to try again. Hopefully I want to try fail. If not, I could try fail fishing. Yeah. Right, so as you can see, I'll scroll up now. This is basically how skills work in the project. The first time, as you can see, it's Dungeons and Dragons settings. Something we can't really change. If so, I haven't looked into it or heard any information about it. So what happens here is, it's sort of, to cut a tree, you need to get let's say the normal trees. Obviously, a level 1 woodcutting, it'll take you a while to cut. It's not the case of you clicking on the roots and you can stay there until the roots are like cut. Say like an oak tree where you can gather more than one log from a tree. It's not the case of you going up to an oak tree and cutting it and staying there, gathering so many logs. It's a case of clicking the roots. You'll be matched against your level, and you either fail or not. So you basically gather one log every click. That's if you're successful. So on the chat box, which I've zoomed in on, you'll see the first time I tried to cut, I rolled a 17 plus 0, and I needed to get something higher than 10. So the first sort of brackets, if you could say, the 17, that's a random number generated. Say it's anything between 1 or 20. So I will always roll anything between 1 or 20. So if you look underneath the failure one, if you look underneath the successful one, where I failed, you can see I rolled a 1. 1 plus 0 equals 1, and obviously that's lower than 10. So it's still very unstable to sort of successfully always gather logs at level 1. It's sort of odd to say, but that level 0, while the 0, as you can see on both the success and fail, it means I'm level 0 woodcutting. I'll probably try editing it, so you always start off at like level 1 stuff, so you just have a little tiny boost. But to cut normal trees, you'll probably need like you basically need like level 10 woodcutting to successfully cut a normal log every single time. In an oak tree, the DC would probably be something like 20 or 25. So obviously, if you get to like level 10 woodcutting, you could try your skill to sort of. It's going to be very unstable since you need something higher than 10 to cut a oak log. The formulas, it's not going to be the exact same as Runescape, so level 99 woodcutting is going to be the highest skill you can get. It's something we really need to look into, and it's sort of still in beta, if you should say. So I will give you more information whenever we start to sort of work into that. And I don't know why I can run into a pond. So I'm gonna go on with fishing spot. For now, it's just like a random chest under the box under the water. Obviously, we need to sort of fix the camera angles, so you won't be able to see this like now. So I'm gonna fish. You successfully catch some shrimp, and obviously, we haven't able to add an animation for fishing yet. So we have our logs and we have our shrimp, and I got 25 XP for it, and that's sort of alright. I need 1000 XP for a leveling up, but what can you do? So I'm going to talk back to the expert. Yes, I have. So we sort of want to grasp the interactions with players. So as you can see, I said, yeah, I gathered the items. My character nodded his head. So we sort of want to make it really realistic. I know with RuneScape, when you're in conversations, the characters just have like the typical head movements and lips movement. It's quite odd.